Thank you so much for joining in. My goodness, we have people from all over the world, New Zealand, Scotland. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. My name is Michael Pai, and this is our first webinar regarding 3 distance learning methods with IPEVO. And let's get started. So the takeaway from this webinar include what IPEVO does and how IPEVO can help you teach remotely, as well as IPEVO's 3 distance learning methods. So these are the takeaway points from this webinar. I hope you guys can learn as much as possible. IPEVO was founded back in 2007. We started out by designing and selling Skype phone, which is the device, as you can see, the screen right here. Device right here, Skype phone. So we started out by designing Skype phone and selling Skype phone, and later on we transitioned into designing document cameras and selling document cameras. And then back then there was this Apple engineer / educational sales. He was using one of our earliest model called P2V, which is this document camera right here, as you can see on the screen right here, to demonstrate how to use an iPad. And so that's how our P2V document camera become pretty popular. And so even Steve Jobs once saw our P2V document camera and he commented as a pretty interesting product. So that's why later on, we're really trying to dedicate our products to educators as well as everyday users out there. So thanks to all of you right here, right now. Thank you so much for all of your support throughout the years. Currently, over half of all the K-12 public schools in America are actually using our products. So thank you all so much for supporting us, as well as Scotland and New Zealand and worldwide. I don't know where you guys are from, but then I just want to say thank you all so much for supporting IPEVO. Thank you very much. Without you, we wouldn't be here. So IPEVO's goal is very simple, actually. So we're here to provide simple, powerful, and affordable products to facilitate people performing everyday tasks. So it doesn't matter where you come from. You could be an architect, you could be a lawyer, you could be an accountant, you could be a gamer, a YouTuber, an artist, musician, of course, educators. We try to cater to your needs as much as possible. Through our hardware or our software. So we really try to provide the most viable solution to every one of you out there. And that's our goal. And I notice that there's a lot of you who have no idea what a document camera is. So what is a document camera, you may ask? So in a nutshell, remember back in the days, people still use overhead projectors with a clear transparent sheet of paper, and then you have to write stuff on it, and then the image will be projected onto the projector screen, right? So you can think of a document camera as a modern day version of overhead projector, plus a webcam, okay? Plus a webcam. So what does it mean? So essentially, this is our IPEVO latest model called VZX. You can see it as the camera is right here. Actually, if you have the camera pointing downwards, it's essentially what an overhead projector does. It's transmitting the image and projecting the image onto the bigger screen. So that's what the document camera is. And then if you simply lift up the camera head right here and then face towards, let's say me, towards the person's face, you can use it as a webcam for teleconferencing, for video conferencing, or for remote teaching purposes. Okay, so essentially that's what this is all about. So it's about a combination of overhead projectors plus a webcam. That's what a document camera is. Okay, and the following, these are really widely popular models loved by our teachers, educators out there, actually. So started from the earliest model, P2V, USB document camera. It's the one that looks kind of like a Pixar's lamp. Yep, it's one of our the most widely popular models out there. Later on, we have the VZ1. And then currently, as you can see, these 3 models right here, V4K, VCR, as well as VZX. These 3 models are the ones that we're selling on the market right now. V4K is a USB document camera, so you can simply plug it into your laptop, desktop, plug and play. VCR, on the other hand, you can use it either HDMI or USB, so which means you can bypass laptops or computers if you want. You can plug it directly into a TV or projector, simply plug and play. VZX, on the other hand, it's our premium all-in-one standalone document camera. You can use it wirelessly or with HDMI cable or with USB cable. So basically, you can think of it as a device that you can pair up with any other device out there. You can pair it with your smartphone, you can pair it with your iPads, Chromebooks, laptops, computers, TVs, you name it, it works. Okay, so we have these 3 models on the market right now. So feel free to jot down questions and I'll try to answer them later on as much as possible, okay? So let's get started with today's main lesson, 3 distance learning methods with IPEVO. Are you guys ready? So our first method today is IPEVO document camera plus Zoom. IPEVO document camera plus Zoom. I noticed that a lot of you haven't purchased an IPEVO document camera yet. So let me just quickly go over this method as well as our document camera with you. So the requirements for this method includes you need to have obviously a computer, you need to have internet access. I highly recommend having cable for better connection and quality. If you're doing remote teaching, this is basically a must, actually have to say. An IPEVO document camera. And number 4 is webcam. So right now I'm using a laptop, so it comes with a webcam, so you can see my face right now. Okay. Number 5 is Zoom software, which is a software that I'm using right now, and you guys are using right now. And then number 6 is your teaching material. Okay, so these are the requirements for method number 1. Okay, computer, internet, IPEVO document camera, webcam, Zoom, your teaching material. Okay, how do we do this? First, you have to download Zoom, and you go to zoom.us to download Zoom, and then you open the software, and then you start a meeting, and then you have to plug your IPEVO document camera into your computer. And then you invite your students to your meeting. And then you click share screen on Zoom, so you can share the image to your students. And then I noticed that teachers want to see their students' face as well, right? So you can ask your students to start their video so you can see their face as well, okay? So you can ask them to start their video on their laptop or computer so that you see their facial reactions as well. And then you can teach in real time that way, okay? So here's a live example, okay? Let's go for a live example right here. Give me a second here. So right now I'm using a VZR, IPEVO VZR document camera to demonstrate how to use our software as well as all the methods that I'll be teaching today, sharing today. Okay, so let me quickly go through this. So you started out by plugging in your IPEVO laptop into IPEVO document camera into your laptop, and then you start a Zoom meeting, and then you invite your students in, and then simply put down your, let's say if you're teaching English today. So I have an English book right here. It's LMNOPs by Keith Baker, and all you have to do is invite your students into your meeting, and then you can, as you can see, I'm using a VZR document camera. It's tall enough to capture open book size. So whenever I can simply flip pages so students can follow along. Okay, so you can simply go from here. So we're P's, alphabet P's. We work and play in the ABCs. We're acrobats, artists, and astronauts in space. And then you flip the page, and then we're builders, bathers, and bikers in a race. We're climbers, campers, and he's a circus clown. You know, we're dancers. Can you dig it? Okay, and drivers round town. It's very easy to use, actually. And we're eaters, electricians, and explorers searching land. We're farmers, flaggers, and best friends in a band. We're gardeners, gigglers, givers and takers. We're hikers, inventors, and investigators. Okay, so on and so forth. Since it's very tall, our device is tall enough. It comes with a base and a stand and a neck. It's tall enough to capture a wide open book size, ledger size basically. We're judges, dishes, and jugglers, pins, and rings. Okay, we're kickers, kayakers, and some of us are kings. So it's very easy to use. Okay, this is our first method. Okay, very easy to use simply by having a document camera. Let me show you right here. So, okay, this is the document camera that I'm using right now. It's called a VZX. Okay, so I simply plug this device into my laptop and then start projecting image to you guys so you guys can see. Okay, alrighty. And then if you want to flip the image, it's really easy because on the device itself, let me quickly mention it. It comes with all these indicators right here. Is this light, filter, rotate button, zoom, exposure increase, decrease, focus button, as well as power. So I remember one of the teachers asked me, like, you want to make sure that the image showing up on the student's side is the right image angle, right? Right orientation. So whenever you see that it's not in the right orientation, you can simply press this rotation button right here. Simply press this button, and then the image will be flipped, and then everything shall be fine from there. Okay. So for example, in my case, I can simply press this button to flip my image, and then now it's upright and it's good to go again. Okay. Very easy to use. So that's our number one method. Okay. So quickly go review. Our method number one is simply just plug your IPEVO device into your laptop and start a Zoom meeting, and then share your Zoom meeting, and then start teaching right away. Remember, you can ask your students to show their faces as well. Okay, method number one. Method number two, moving on to method number two, it's IPEVO document camera plus visualizer plus Zoom. So IPEVO document camera, as you saw earlier, plus visualizer plus Zoom. You already know about Zoom, so I'm not going to talk about that. Visualizer is an IPEVO software that I'll talk about in a minute. So what is IPEVO Visualizer? IPEVO Visualizer is a software that allows you to stream images in real time. Well, not just images actually. So you place anything underneath or in front of your document camera, you can stream it in real time to your students. It could be a 3D object, could be a 2D object, could be a VR object, or image, or augmented image, or a virtual reality image, you name it, it works. And then, or you can use this software to capture, take snapshots, record videos, time-lapse videos, stop motion videos, slow motion videos, or you can use it to scan documents and basically digitize your documents and save them in PDF format if you want. Or if it has a OCR function, which is optical character recognition. So what it does is that it scans a page and then reads it word by word back to you. So for those who are kind of lazy to read stuff, you can use a function to help you listen instead of read the paragraphs, the stories. Okay, so that's what IPEVO Visualizer is. So the requirements for this method includes computer, obviously, internet access, cable for better connection, and IPEVO document camera, visualizer software, Zoom software, and then your teaching material. Okay, so these are the requirements. Basically very simple. It's very similar to the previous one, except it has an additional visualizer software. And I'll show you guys about that in a minute. Okay. So how do we do this? First step, you go to www.ipevo.com, and then what you do here is you go down here, and then you see software right here, right? And click on software, and then you'll see that we have several software right here for free, We have visualizer right here, whiteboard, as well as annotator. You can all download them for free and try them out. For this method, I'm going to use visualizer right here. So simply go down here and then click on the options that you want to have. So depending on the operating system that you have, so select the ones that you need. Okay, so since I'm using a Mac laptop right here right now, let me show you guys. Give me a second here. What? So this is, give me a second here. Okay, do you guys see? Okay, so this is the icon for IPEVO Visualizer, okay? And then you can turn on this software. Okay, so this is the software that I was talking about. Quickly go over the software. It's a very, very powerful software, I have to say. And the best thing is that it's free. So download it now. You can even download it on your smartphone as well to use the software. I'll get into that later. So, okay, let's enlarge it so you can see it better. So this function right here is select camera. So let's say, since I'm using my laptop as well as VCR, so I can just select either want to use FaceTime HD camera or VCR document camera. I can select whichever one I want to use. And then we have all these functions right here: brightness, contrast, gamma, hue, saturation, sharpness, vertical keystone, as well as horizontal keystone. In most part, I don't really care about all these stuff actually. So you don't have to pay too much attention to this unless you really want to tweak around with the brightness, contrast, or any of these stuff. Okay, for the most part, I would just ignore them. And then later on, you can check out zoom. I noticed that a lot of teachers like to zoom in stuff. I like to zoom in stuff as well. So for document cameras, there are two ways to zoom in. The first way is simply, so the document camera looks like this, right? You can simply lower down the camera head, okay? Lower it down to have a better quality zoom in quality, because this is optical quality, zoom in quality, okay? Simply lower down the camera head, okay? If you want to zoom out, it's the opposite. Simply raise up your camera head to capture a wider area, okay? So that's zooming out, okay? So this is optical zoom in, so it will give you definitely a better image quality. But if you want to have digital zoom in, you can feel free to use a software to zoom in, as you can see, okay? So that's zoom in right there with digital zoom in. It goes up to 12 times. So it goes all the way up here. Okay, so it depends on how much you want to zoom in. For rotation function right here, because you want to make sure that your students are seeing the upright image, right? So you can always talk to them, see if they are viewing things from an upright angle and a correct orientation. So, however, there's also this rotation function right here, which allows you to move your object without actually moving your object. So basically change the angle. You can click here, 45 degrees again, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and back to ground zero. Or you can mirror it as well, horizontal or vertical. Okay. And then we have resolution function right here. Our maximum resolution is 3264 times 2440K, since our document camera is 8 megapixel. So it's pretty much equivalent to 4K resolution. But for remote teaching purposes, I would recommend using a lower resolution so you can stream your images smoother that way. So your students get to see not choppy, not laggy images. So use a lower resolution will definitely help smoothen things out that way. Okay. So for this purpose, I'm using 1920 times 1080. And exposure, basically you're increasing the brightness of the image, okay? Or you could decrease it, decrease it, decrease it, decrease it, okay? Very easy, very straightforward. White balance. The further on the right, the warmer it gets, the yellower it gets. The image becomes really yellow, as you can see. If you go to the left, the image becomes colder, so that's why it becomes bluer. very, very blue, as you can see. So I wouldn't, normally I wouldn't touch as white balance. I'll just let it be, go with a natural color tone. Focus as well, same thing as well. You can do manual focus or autofocus. You can go for micro or macro. But again, I would just go with autofocus continuous focus. This is autofocus single focus. I'll go with continuous focus, so everything will be stay focused at all times. We also embedded 9 different filters for artists, as well as for whoever wants to use it, as well as for visually impaired people. As you notice that we have black and white, inverted black and white, red on black, yellow on black, yellow on blue, white on blue, inverted color, grayscale, sepia, etc. So particularly, I want to point out yellow on black because this one is particularly good for people with dyslexia. So students with dyslexia can see better with yellow on black. Why do I know that? Because when I attend one of the expos, educational expos last year, one of the attendees told me that his son has dyslexia, and then it's better for him to view things under yellow on black. So that's why we have this option right here. Okay. And then moving on, we have all these functions right here. We have, this is no normal function, snapshot. We have record video. You can record slow motion video if you want. You can live broadcast a YouTube video if you want. Time-lapse video, you can record time-lapse video. So time-lapse video is really good for, let's say, if you're recording the growing process of plants, the growing process of animals, insects, or simply sunset, sunrise, or traffic, you name it, as long as you have a good time, right? And there's also QR code or barcode scanning. This is especially useful for elementary school students since a lot of them don't really know how to type yet, right? So QR codes are really useful for them. And I notice that teachers like to use them a lot too. And split screen. If I press this button right here, you can notice that the screen is being split into 2. You see my face in one screen, and the other side is the book that I place on my table. Okay, and then you can also take a snapshot simply by pressing the space bar or press this button right here to take a snapshot. Okay. There's also stop motion video. I recorded a stop motion video earlier, so I can show it with you guys right here. What stop motion video is essentially you take a series of pictures and then you stitch them together, and then it becomes a short clip. Okay, IPEVO. Okay. So this is what a stop motion is. Very easy to use and very fun to play with. That took me like less than 10 seconds to make actually. So it's very straightforward, very easy to use. Okay. And then we have magnifying glass. We have scan documents function right here. So you can scan any document. And then you can simply select the area that you want to scan. Let's say if I'm a librarian or I'm a teacher, I want to scan my papers, my exams, and then save them in PDF format. So I can press PDF right here. And then you can start scanning by pressing this button right here. And then you can flip pages and press it again. And do it again. Okay, so once it's done, so press PDF to save it onto your desktop. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at the image, the result. Okay, so this is the image that I just scanned. Very easy to use, very, very simple and straightforward. Okay. And then we also have, last but not least, OCR text-to-speech function. Okay, but for the purpose of this webinar, I'm not getting into that. Snapshot is a very, very useful function right here. You can take a snapshot whenever you feel like. And then we have this pen function, which allows you to annotate live actually. So, hey, I see a P right here. There's a cute P with a parachute. You can write them, jot them down, play around with them. And you can change the color if you want. You can change it to yellow if you want, with a smiley face. Ooh, with it blue, smiley face if you want. Okay, and then you can erase them as well if you want. Simply erase them if you don't want them. And then, oh, I want to write something down as well. I just want to say thank you. Okay, and then I will take a snapshot. Okay, and then you can ask your students to do this, or you can do it yourself, and then you can share with your students. Very easy to do, very fun as well. So this is the image I just took. Okay, very straightforward, very easy to do. And then we have this function right here. Since VZR and VZX come with LED light as well as built-in microphone, so you can press this button to turn on the LED light to brighten up your image, brighten up your material or textbook or anything, or you can turn it off as well. We have this freeze image, live image function right here. So whenever you feel like, I don't know, switching material or anything you don't want to broadcast live, feel free to press this button. And then once you're ready, resume back to live image, okay? We also have this function called picture in picture, which is similar to split screen, except it's a smaller image. And then you can choose what camera you want to use right here. So in this case, I'm using my FaceTime, my built-in webcam for this purpose, okay? And then we have this highlight function. So let's say if I'm reading something. So we're unique, right? We're very unique. So in this case, I can highlight this part right here. Okay. So when I highlight a certain area, students can focus on a certain area. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is simply press this button again to turn it into masking. Okay. See how this has become masking? It just blocks out the entire area, and then shows up only a certain area left. Oops, sorry, give me a second here. Let me try this again. Press it again. Okay. And then if you press left click and right click at the same time, it can increase the width of the masking. Okay. So this way, it allows students to focus on the area that you want them to focus on. Okay. Very simple and straightforward. Later on, we also have grid lines, which allows you to play math games or bingo or any creative games that you can come up with. Okay, very fun and easy to play with. And last but not least, that's focus button. Our iDocCam cameras are usually pretty focused, so you don't really have to worry about that. We also have this function icon right here, switch larger UI. It's dedicated for basically anyone who wants to use a larger user interface. As you can see, all the icons are bigger, larger. So it's especially good for visually impaired people like me to see, because it's really helpful. It definitely took out a lot of stress from my eyes. Okay, so this is visualizer. So for the purpose of this, let me try to demonstrate teaching, let's say, math. Okay, let's say if I want to teach math, I'll be writing like, oh, sorry, let's go back a bit. Okay, let's say 2x plus 3 equals 12. 2x equals 12 minus 3. 2x equals 9. X equals 4.5. Okay, you can come with all kinds of math problems, and then you can solve it with your students and can show them how to solve math problems. 2 to the power of 2 plus 3 to the power of 2 equals, oh gosh, what is it? 4 plus 9 equals 13. Thank goodness, I still remember some math. Okay, thank you. So, and then there's also like, triangles, right? A to the power of 2 C to the power 2 equals C to the power 2, right? So for all kinds of purposes, you can just come up with any teaching subject, any subject that you want to teach, and they can teach right away, okay? So this is IPEVO second method. Basically, you're combining IPEVO document camera with Zoom with IPEVO visualizer software. Our software is free, so you can feel free to download it later. Okay, so this is our second method. And let's go back to our presentation. Okay, here. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is our second method. Once you download Visualizer, open Visualizer, you plug your device into your laptop, you open Zoom, you start a meeting, and you invite your students to your meeting, and you click share screen on Zoom, and then you ask your students to show their face so you can see them that they're actually paying attention to your lesson, and then you can teach in real time. Okay, that's our second method. And obviously, you can use it to teach any subject you want. English, math, science, art, you name it, it works. Last but not least, let's work on our last method of the day. It's IPEVO iDocCam plus Visualizer plus Zoom. IPEVO iDocCam plus Visualizer plus Zoom. So we already know about Visualizer and Zoom. So what exactly is IPEVO iDocCam? So iDocCam is essentially a software that's newly developed by IPEVO that allows people to transform their cell phones into a document camera. So it's still an app. It's still a software that you download from, let's say, App Store or Google Play Store, but then it allows you to transfer your cell phone into a document camera. But obviously, the difference between a cell phone and a document camera is that, as you can notice, cell phone is rather fragile. Like my cell phone right here, the screen itself is made of glass, right? So when you use it, you have to make sure that it's stable. You don't want to just accidentally drop it, otherwise your screen might crack or not, and it will cost you a lot of money. On the other hand, a device like a document camera is rather rugged. Like this device right here is made of thermoplastic, so it's very durable, and it comes with a base as well as a stand and a neck. So it can capture a pretty wide area pretty safely, and it comes with a lot of built-in buttons as well, like rotation filter, zoom in and zoom out, light, etc., for you to easy access. And cell phone, on the other hand, has limited access right now, for now. Okay, let's get into this. So the requirements for this method includes computer, internet access. In this case, you need to have Wi-Fi plus cable. Wi-Fi plus cable. Why? I'll get into that. Cable is for broadcasting your live teaching via Zoom, but Wi-Fi, you have to use it with iDocCam later. I'll show you guys how later. And obviously, number 3 is iDocCam app. Number 4 is Visualizer software. Number 5 is Zoom software. Number 6 is your teaching material. Number 7 is ask your students to start videos so you can see them. And number 8 is teaching real time. Okay, so these are the requirements for this method. And how do you do this? You go to App Store, you go to Google Play Store, and you download iDocCam. Let me show you guys how. Like, for example, right here. And then you go to the cell phone's network setting and select the Wi-Fi network that your computer is using, and turn on your iDocCam app on your smartphone, and turn on your Visualizer app on your computer. And then select your smartphone's iDocCam on Visualizer's camera setting, and open Zoom, start meeting, invite your students to your meeting, and start teaching. Seems quite complicated, right? But let me just go through it step by step with you guys. So the key for this method is that you see the red words right here. you must connect your cell phone and your computer to the same network, same Wi-Fi network. That's a key. A lot of people thought that they connected both devices to the same Wi-Fi network, but then just to realize that they did not later on. So that's a key to success for this method. Okay, so let's get started. Let's teach some math, science, or art, for example. Okay, for this method. Let's see right here. So for this method right here, as you notice, this is my laptop, and my laptop is connected to Mike's Wi-Fi connection, my Wi-Fi network, and then on the other hand, my cell phone on the other hand. Okay, here you go. I go to App Store and then I search for iDocCam and then I open it up. I'll open it up later. So first go to settings and then go to Wi-Fi, and then my cell phone is connected to mic as well. So my laptop, my laptop's Wi-Fi connection is connected to mic. My cell phone's connection is connected to mic as well. So they have to be in sync. They have to be exactly the same, okay? They have to connect to the same network. This is key. Make sure that all the alphabets, all the numbers are exactly the same, okay? And then I'll turn on my iDocCam app. I'll open it up, okay? Okay. So to go over this, let me quickly go over the functions that we have available on iDocCam right here. So the first function is this light. So basically, is adjusting the brightness of the light coming out from cell phone. It could be very bright, it could be very dark. Basically, just turn off the light, okay? Very bright, or simply turn off the light. Second is exposure. Again, it's very similar to the visualizer exposure, basically making your image brighter or making your image dimmer, darker, okay? I'll just go back to normal. And white balance right here. You can change your white balance. Again, same thing. Warmer on the right-hand side, colder on the left-hand side. Okay, so it depends on what white balance you want to have. Usually just around 56K-ish. So this is, again, manual focus, autofocus. It's the same, basically the same as visualizer. It comes with continuous focus or single focus. In this case, usually I'll just select autofocus, continuous focus. So every time, everything will be focused at all time, okay? And again, freeze image, just like the freeze image function on visualizer. You can freeze the image. So I'm moving my cell phone, but the image is not moving at all. Okay, and then I'll unfreeze it, and it'll go live again, okay? One more really important function I have to point out right here is this eyelet right here. So if you're using your cell phone as a document camera, it will drain some battery, if not a lot of battery. So the key to using your cell phone as a document camera is that you're trying to preserve some battery as much as possible. So you can either connect your cell phone to a power bank or connect to a wall charge while using your cell phone, or you can press this eyelet right here to turn off the screen. Okay, simply turn off the screen will definitely save some battery for your cell phone as well. Okay, once you want to wake up your cell phone, simply gently touch on your screen and it goes back on again. Okay, very simple to use. Turn it off, turn on. Okay, and then this flip image right here is switch camera. Okay, so I can switch either using my front camera or my rear camera. Okay, oh, that's me right there. Hi. Okay, so that's that. Very easy and straightforward. So right now, since my cell phone and my laptop are connected to the same Wi-Fi network, let's go to visualizer right here. Okay, visualizer right here, and then You go to select camera right here, and then once you turn on this, you see iDocCam underscore Michael Pai's iPhone #1, and then select this one. And now the image will be streaming from my cell phone instead. Okay, so let me show you. So you see the image from my VZR right here. VZR is showcasing my cell phone, which is using iDocCam app, which is streaming the image via visualizer software right here, right now. Okay, very easy to use. So for this purpose, I'm gonna place my cell phone on a case right here. I'll place it right next to it. Okay, so as you can see, easy setup, very easy setup, simply by placing your cell phone on top of a box or cardboard box, anything that you think is stable enough, it'll be fine, and don't touch it as much as possible. And then you can start broadcasting your teaching material right away. So this is the math equation I just talked about. You'll be solving math problems, etc., etc., etc. Okay, very easy to use, very straightforward. Okay, so this is the key. This is the key. Okay, you'll be streaming live images from your iDocCam app. Okay, and then, or let's say if I'm a art teacher, I want to teach art. I have a beautiful flower right here. I want to showcase it with you guys. So again, I could be using my visualizer software, and then I could use my annotation function right here. And I could be talking to my students saying, hey, look at this beautiful flower right here. Pink flowers, blue flowers. Okay, pink flowers again. All kinds of branches right here, etc., etc. And then you can simply highlight them if you want, circle them. And then again, you can take a snapshot if you want. Okay, so you could be teaching any subjects once again with this purpose. Okay, you could be teaching math, you could be teaching art, you could be teaching music, you name it, it works. Very straightforward, very easy to use. Okay, so yeah, this is our number 3 method, actually, our third method of the day. Okay, very straightforward, very easy to use. Obviously, you can use our visualizer software to record video, slow motion video, again, stop motion video, etc., etc. Okay, so that's essentially the nutshell. You're turning your cell phone into a dockcam and then use it as a dockcam, but just gotta make sure that your cell phone is charged, and then you have to make sure that there's streaming the image live properly. Okay, and let's get back to our PowerPoint slides right here. Okay, all right, all right. So that's our third method, okay? IPEVO iDocCam plus Visualizer plus Zoom. So quick recap. So today we're talking about 3 different methods. Method number 1 is IPEVO Document Camera plus Zoom. Our second method is IPEVO Document Camera plus Visualizer plus Zoom. And our third method is IPEVO iDocCam plus Visualizer plus Zoom. So for the first 2 methods, you're actually using a physical IPEVO Document Camera with Zoom as a medium to teach over the internet. And then you can use our IPEVO Visualizer software to take snapshots, record videos, etc., etc. And our third method, you're using IPEVO's latest software called iDocCam. In turn, use it to turn your cell phone into a document camera. And then pair it up with our Visualizer software, which is also free, and then you can use it, Zoom, to live broadcast your image, your teaching lessons right away. Okay, that's the nutshell. And then here's a quick poll for you guys to do. And then please fill out the poll, and then I'll quickly go over them later on. Okay, so before coronavirus came into our lives, like last year, we went to Niagara Falls, Canada, Ontario for Connect. We met a lot of teachers, educators, and then we talked about them, and we talked to them, and then we're there to listen to them and to learn about what they need, and we're trying to help them solve their problems. And last year, we also went to Philadelphia for Eastie. We invited 12 different guest speakers to come to our booth to share their experiences about using our IPEVO products. Okay. Earlier this year, we went to Tampa, Florida for FMEA, which is a music educational trade show, as well as Miami for FETC. So yeah, it was, all of these are very, very wonderful experiences. We get to meet teachers in person instead of me doing this teaching over the internet. So it's definitely a different experience. So yeah, back then people, all those classrooms and people were using our document cameras to teach math, music, to teach English, to teach graphology, like analyze people's handwritings. And then during coronavirus pandemic, which is going on right now, a lot of people are using IPEVO document cameras at home. So these are their setups at home. So on the left, we have people using V4K for visual art class. On the right, we have people using board games to teach, V4K to teach board games, actually. And then we also have people using VCR to teach math, V4K to teach music, VCR teaching engineering, okay, V4K to teach science. If you want to learn more about IPEVO, you can simply go to Amazon and search for IPEVO. You can check for Amazon ranking, Amazon bestseller, Amazon's choice. In this case, you can simply go to Amazon. Sorry. Ooh, how do I do this? Give me a second here. Okay. The poll is blocking the way. Sorry, give me a second here. For those of you who still haven't filled out the polls, please fill the polls. Thank you very much. So for this purpose, I mean, okay. Ta-da. Well, as you can see, bestsellers in document cameras on Amazon. Number 1 is our V4K, and number 2 is our VCR, and number 4 is our premium product VCX. And then you can click in to check out their reviews as well as their price and everything. So this one has 4.4 out of 5 stars with 405 ratings and 186 answered questions. And if you look at VCR on the other hand, right here, give it a second. It also has 4.4 out of 5 stars with 140 ratings. Okay, so feel free to check it out, and then we have a lot of reviews, and then feel free to check them out. Okay. Then let's go back to our presentation. So we also have a lot of social media presence as well. So let's say, for example, Twitter, you simply go to twitter.com, and then /IPEVO. You can find out a lot of resources about tips and ideas about how other educators out there are using our products. So whenever you have time, simply you can scroll through our Twitter account to check out how other people are using our product. Somehow the image is not loading, isn't it? Give me a second here. There you go. Okay, so you can go to IPEVO's Twitter account to check out how other people review our product, as well as how other people use our products. Okay, and then later you can check out our Instagram, www.instagram.com/IPEVOinc. You can check out our Instagram account. You'll find out our latest information about our exhibition pictures, as well as how we use our IPEVO document cameras. Okay, like we will come up with a lot of video posts, blogs, articles regarding how to use our IPEVO products, and these are our past expo pictures. Okay, very simple and straightforward. And then last but not least, we also have Facebook right here. Facebook. Facebook, again, similar to basically like a combination of Twitter and Instagram. So we just resumed using Facebook recently, actually. So feel free to like us on our Facebook webpage and like support us if you want. Please do. And then so we can provide better solution products and to you guys. Okay, so again, Facebook is about providing the latest solution about how to use document cameras, IPEVO document cameras. Okay, let's go back to our presentation. And then, so if you want to have more resources, simply go to www.ipevo.com/how-to. We have a whole bunch of articles, Medium posts, as well as videos for you to review. For example, this one right here says 3 approaches to teaching online with IPEVO VCR document camera. Okay, or if you want, you can simply go to YouTube and search for IPEVO. You can find out like teaching lessons online with VCR, or teaching music online with IPEVO VCR. You know, we have a lot of videos on YouTube as well. So feel free, whenever you feel like learning about something new about IPEVO, feel free to go to our how-to section, or simply go to YouTube to search for it. So here's the time for Q&A section. So let's take a look at our Q&A section right here. Wow, we have a lot of questions. I'm definitely not able to answer all of the questions. So give me a second here. Second right here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so here's a good question. So I've been making videos with my IPEVO camera. How do I stop it going in and out of focus? That's a very common question. That's a very good question. So let's say, okay, let me change to a bigger screen so you can see me. Okay, now let me flip my image right here. Sorry, give me a second here. Oh, shoot. So essentially, what you see right here is that with, let's say, for example, VCR right here, we have this focus button right here, this blue button right here, right? So all you have to do is press and hold this button. And once you hear beep sound, the focus is locked. So the focus won't be, the focal point won't be moving in and out. So you won't be going in and out of focus all the time. Okay, let's say if you're writing something on a piece of paper, and then you want to focus on a piece of paper instead of focusing on your hand movement, simply press this blue button right here. Press and hold. Once you hear beep sound, the focus is locked, and then you're good to go. And then once you press the blue button again to release the focus, so it will go back to autofocus again. So then that will just go back to normal again. It will just go in and out all the time again, okay? Okay, so that's question number one. Oops, sorry. Oops. 1 second here. Okay. Yeah, I have a V4K. Can I have video lesson with it? Yes, for sure. Like I said, you can use our software visualizer plus your V4K, and then simply go to use the. Let me show you right here. Simply use this function right here. Record a video. Go to the second one right here. It says record. So you can use it to record a video, okay? Once you press it and start recording, you can use it. Either you can mute your voice if you want, or you can unmute it to record your voice as well, okay? And yes, you will have, I believe you will have access to the presentation after today. And then later on, we'll send you a survey for you guys to fill out. Yes, and it will work with Google Meet, the same as Zoom. Yes, I think most like conferencing softwares are quite similar actually. And we can see our students' reactions, and they can see us if we're sharing the screen. Yes, yes, yes. So let's say if you're like, for example, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm using my laptop, and my laptop comes with the built-in webcam, right? So that's why you're seeing my facial reaction. And then I'm using my my what I'm using my document camera right here to demonstrate our products. Okay. So you can teach them, you can use it to teach your material, and so your students get to see your facial reaction at the same time. Okay. Okie dokie. We talk about IPEVO iDocCam and use. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Will this work with an iPad as well? Could you specify on that? If you purchase, let's say this device right here, this is our VZX, our wireless document camera. You can pair it up with your iPad, and you can use it to streamline images on your iPad. And if you have your Zoom app built in on your installed on your iPad, you can try to use that as well to streamline your lesson via your iPad. Okay. Um, no, does iDocCam only work with iPhones? No. So you can download it on Google Play Store as well. It's also good for Android phones as well. Okay, so you can use it with Android phones too. Okay. Any key tips for using the wireless IPEVO VZX? I mean, since it's a wireless one, right? So if I were you, I mean, I would just walk up to the students and then, well, that's in a classroom setting though. So, I mean, in this case, I would just use it kind of like a VCR, since, sorry, I haven't really come up with a solution to teach remotely. Maybe one day I will, and maybe we'll share with you. Okay, otherwise, in the meantime, I would just use it like a VCR and just hook it up to your laptop or desktop, and then station there to portray, project images. Oh, thank you, Tracy. I met you at FETC. Thank you. Okay. Alrighty, alrighty. So, so let's keep going. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go back to our presentation. So we really cherish our customers' feedback. So with your feedback, we can come up with newer and better and more improved products. So we really cherish your feedback. So your feedback is very important, valuable for us. So at the end of this webinar, later on we'll send you an email regarding a survey. And then once you fill out a survey and then reply back to us, and you might win an IPEVO freebie. And then one more thing, the new iDocCam app is available for free till the end of this month. So if I were you, I would just download it right now on your smartphone, on your iPhone or on your Android phone, any phone. Just download it now and then try it out. See for yourself. See if you like it. Myself, I find it really incredible, actually. I never thought that I could use my cell phone as a dock-cam, but just be careful. You know, your cell phone's rather fragile compared to a document camera, so just make sure you don't drop it. Okay, download it now. Download it now. It's really good. So if you want to contact us, you can email me at michaelpai@ipevo.com, michaelpai@ipevo.com, or contact us at ipevo.com/sales-support. If you have any questions, let us know. Email us and let us know. We will try our best to answer your questions. Okay, thank you very much for your time, and then please stay safe and healthy. Really, I mean, with this coronavirus situation, I really hope that we're all doing very well. I hope that you guys are doing really well. I know that most of you guys are staying at home right now. I mean, so please stay safe and healthy. And then I'll see you guys next time. If you guys have any questions, let me know or let our sales team know. And then I'll see you soon. Okay, thank you so much for paying attention all this time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you
Thank
next
you.
time. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you. I hear your voice now. Thank you so much. Thank you.